Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, BDG Auto Group, by Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmissions, Advanced Technology Institute, and American Do-It-Yourself Garage. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. You may text your comments and questions during the show at 757-866-2192. That's 757-866-2192. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palash.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pilach, hanging out with Rockin' Larry Cobb, and of course, Cameron's doing all of our technical work for us. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays. It is the new year. It is finally here, and we're starting off fresh. How you guys doing?
Hey, I'm still writing 18 on my checks.
Are you? It'll take me a while. You know what? It always takes me a while to get used to riding like the new year. I have scratch out, and by February, I'm usually good. February, I've got it down pat by February. So did you guys do anything great for the holidays? Or
ate fruitcake.
Maybe this
did
year,
somebody give it to you as a present? Because that's usually not a good sign.
Maybe this year we will get squeaky chairs.
They say you usually give somebody fruitcake if you don't like them.
I grew up loving fruitcake.
Really?
My wife thinks I'm nuts. She said, I'd never eat that.
Yeah, no.
We used to get that. I worked at a radio station where our Christmas bonus
was a fruitcake?
Was a Claxton fruitcake.
That means they really didn't like you.
That was a fruitcake for the whole staff. Not each member.
I got a fruitcake one year, and it was gummy bears instead of actual fruit inside of it.
No, I'd hate that.
I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, I'd never seen that.
Fruitcake and milk. I'm in heaven.
Well, holidays were good in general for us. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, and I didn't for a reason. I'm going to tell you guys why I didn't. So I touched base on it just a little bit. So we did something different for the holidays, and our sponsors got together, and we did something kind of cool. So I know, like I said, I touched on it. So we decided to do a couple different events. So you guys know we did the Christmas extravaganza here on the show, and we gave a bunch of presents away. People were able to win them, and people won some pretty cool stuff, gave away TV and some other stuff.
That was fun.
So that was cool. Still got some people waiting to pick up some stuff. So don't forget, if you won some stuff and you have not got a chance to get down, I know the holidays, people are out of the area and stuff, so I'm bearing with you, but definitely get a chance to come down here, pick up your prizes. If you don't get a chance to come pick them up, I'm only going to hold them for another couple weeks, and then I'm going to roll them back into another prize giveaway. So keep that in mind. I will let you guys know when I'm going to give up on you.
And if there is anything you need to let us know, you can email Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com.
Yep. Yeah, if you have any problems or something like that, we need to figure it out, let me know. But like I said, I'll hang on for a little bit longer, but if not, I'll roll them back into the prize pool. We'll give them away at a different time. But not only did we do that, but then we went ahead and did something. Like I said, I didn't talk about it a whole lot because I didn't want to talk about it for the wrong reasons. So we do a lot of things, and I do it for what I believe are the right reasons, and I don't like to promote things because I don't want anybody to think we're doing it for the wrong reasons. So we decided with our sponsors, our Napa BDG Auto Group, AAA was involved. We just all got together, and JF Whitlow got involved as well. And we did a charity Christmas drive. So we got a bunch of presents together, and we did a little something different. Instead of just giving them collectively to just a group and let them hand out, we decided to go to people's houses and actually deliver them. So we went and delivered them to families directly.
I think I saw some of the videos of that.
It was. It actually, the news picked it up and came out.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah, it was on the news. So it was very, very cool to be part of that. It went very, very well. We didn't talk about it a whole lot because it just wasn't the reason why we did it. We did it because we wanted to be involved. But it went very well. We ended up sponsoring 5 families, and we did a caravan of cars. We did a parade of cars. And we kind of decorated up the cars and filled up the cars with gifts. And we went from family to family and delivered them directly to the houses. It was very, very cool for the holidays. We had a blast with it.
I can imagine.
Event. So I just want to reach out and say thank you to all our sponsors that support us in doing that. It was a really, really fun event. I enjoyed it. I know the families that we helped out really enjoyed it. I got a lot of emails and stuff that come back to me that people that were involved with it that really enjoyed it. So, like I said, didn't want to leave you guys out. I want to let you guys know that we did do it and we had a good time, but I kind of kept that a little bit quiet, just for the reasons, like I said, some of the things that we do for the right reasons, and I didn't want to, the publicity side of the things on it for.
That's not the reason you did.
Yeah, that's not the reason why we did it. So, but it was very cool. If you ever get the opportunity to do something like that, I highly suggest you get involved, and maybe we'll do it next year. And
Feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was very cool. New Year's was pretty quiet around our house. We didn't do a whole lot. It was pretty active car-wise in the Pilach family. We had right before Christmas, we had a blowout on one of the cars, and of course it has custom tires on it, so we couldn't get any tires for it before the holidays. So we
no spare in the trunk?
Not for those tires. So that car has sat in the garage until yesterday and finally got the tire in it. And then Cameron's car, somebody crossed across him 2 lanes of traffic in front of him during the holidays, and he ended up crashing kind of in the back and the side of them because he couldn't stop. They ran the stop sign in front of him and came in front of him. So it looks like his car's probably going to be totaled. So, yeah. So it's been an interesting holidays for us in the car market in our family.
You guys better buy some bison.
Does that make totaled for the Pilach family?
Yeah, it's
hard luck with
here's the crazy thing, though. You want to hear something? It's funny that we have a car show, and I told you guys, we're immersed in cars like you wouldn't believe. And obviously there's a reason why we have this show. But most of the cars that have ever been totaled and stuff in our family, never been our fault. It's always been somebody else driving. That just goes to show you that you can't change the driving habits of others. Even though you think you could be the safest driver there is, you can't change the way other people drive around you. So there's a reason why I bring this up, Cameron. I was going to try to bring it up last show and to get a chance because we had so much other things to talk about. So if you all guys were following along a couple shows ago, we were talking about auto insurance. You guys remember this conversation, correct?
I remembered it last week.
We were talking about, no, it wasn't last week. It was the week before that.
I said I remembered it last week.
Yeah, okay. So if you guys were following along, we were talking about uninsured motorists and should you be required to have insurance and how everybody felt about if you could drive without insurance, if that was a possibility, or the person who drives that big piece of junk clunker, and if he hits you without insurance, how if he hits your $60,000 car and then he didn't have to pay for anything, how you feel. And Cameron's point of view at the time was he thought that you should be able to drive without insurance, and that if you got in an accident, then it set precedents that you couldn't be trusted, and then you should be forced to have insurance. And I said, well, what happens if you have a really nice car and someone hits you without insurance, and then you're stuck with your car being wrecked and totaled, and you have to figure out a way to replace that car? And that still didn't seem to move Cameron on the idea of changing the policies. He still thought, well, maybe you should be able to have the opportunity to drive without insurance until you prove that you're a bad driver. And then once you're proven that you're a bad driver, then you're required to have insurance. So literally within the same week of us having that conversation on the air, Cameron's car gets totaled. Not his fault. So I'm just curious, Cameron, did your opinion change at all?
No comment.
Yeah, because it looks like his car will be totaled. Now, the person who hit him does have insurance, but the very first thing, of course, they said when they jumped out of the car was, it's your fault. It's talking about it's Cameron's fault. Even though they blew the stop sign, crossed over lanes of traffic in front of him sideways, he couldn't hit his brakes quick enough to keep from hitting them. They still wanted it to be his fault.
Of course.
Oh, of course. Well, Cameron actually handled himself pretty well. So I'll let Cameron kind of tell the story. Basically, they jumped out and started wanting to beat on his car. So go ahead, Cameron.
So after we made contact, where my car made contact to her car, she hopped out, her passenger hopped out and wanted to come bang on my window. And I was like, whoa, don't hit my window. Because I was afraid it was going to shatter it, and my airbag already went off. I don't want something else to fix. So he didn't hit the window, and he was like, "It's your fault." She's like, "It's your fault. You were going way too fast."
Now keep in mind, because he was excited, and I know he's forgetting some of the details. He said he calmly rolls his window down as the guy's trying to scream at him. Cameron puts his hand up. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then like calmly hits his window and rolls it down and speaks to the guy.
It was the funniest thing. And then he was like, "I'm like, I didn't want to get out of my car because now they're in front of my window and I'm screaming at me and I'm still in my car, but police have already been notified because of the tracker I have built into my car." So when they said I was doing over the speed limit, I was like, "Well, I have a tracker in my car." That's when things started like dying down, and then they were like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, my first question was, are you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah."
As it should have been.
No, here's
Exactly.
the crazy thing. So you have Cameron. Now you have two grown adults screaming and yelling at Cameron. Calmly rolls his window down, he's having to calm them down. Whoa, 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 whoa! First of all, are you okay? He's asking them. Now, their airbags didn't go off or anything. His airbag has gone off. He's like got powder still in the air in his car, and he's having to have a calm conversation with them.
I'm sure they didn't ask him back.
No.
Of course not.
Definitely not.
Like, I remember all the details because, of course, he was telling me the details. Now, I got alerted because the tracker system that we have in the car alerts me if there's an accident. So my cell phone went off and said one of your cars had just been in an accident. And I'm like, did that go off by mistake? I'm thinking to myself because I was sitting there. So I'm looking at my phone, and I'm like,
He sends me a text.
So I sent him a text. I was like, why am I getting a message saying that you were just in an accident? And he types back, because I just was. I was just like, okay, well, all righty. So then, of course, I bring it up, and I see where he's located at, and I just started heading.
And because I know my car automatically notifies my family, my first actual phone call was work. I mean,
he doesn't call me. He calls work, tell him, oh, looks like I'm going to be late.
Paycheck doesn't come from you.
right, exactly. So just that was our holidays. It was
and I
craziness.
also want to say, the Virginia Beach Police dispatch time was amazing.
Yeah.
They were within 1 minute of being there.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty crazy. That's good. I'll give them the props on that. Though.
Yep.
They were pretty quick. And the tracking app system that we works really well because it worked exactly how it's supposed to. As soon as he's in an accident, as soon as the airbag was deployed, it rang my phone to let me know that he was in an accident. So it worked just the way it's
Wish
supposed
they
to.
had stuff like that when my daughter was driving.
No, I was like I said, it worked the way it was supposed to. So it was very cool that it did. I think I was to him within like 25 minutes of the accident.
Yeah.
And he was pretty far away from
And
me.
I was able to prove to them, hey, look, I was doing under the speed
Yeah.
limit.
He showed him on his tracker. I was doing the speed limit. I didn't hard accelerate away from the first light I left before I got to this next intersection.
The only thing that showed was hard braking.
Which
and that's,
would-
well,
Yeah.
trying
To
hard
avoid
brake.
hitting. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So it worked exactly the way it's supposed to. Pretty cool for that.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you hear that train?
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, this.
that was that ambulance. You see.
I'm like, why does that sound like a train?
So like I said, it was it was an interesting holidays for us for sure.
Sounds like it.
But here's the interesting part. Now they have an insurance company. I'm not going to put them on blast yet, but they have yet to correct the situation. We've been without a car for a week now, and they have not fixed the situation yet. All because, and I knew this was going to happen. So now he told you they got out and said your fault, your fault, your fault, right? Mm-hmm. They got ticketed as their fault, even though they tried to say it was his fault.
Right.
And they had yet to this point to call their insurance company and inform them that they were in an accident. So therefore, their insurance company has not moved forward yet because they hadn't even called the accident in.
You can't talk to your insurance company and have them put a little pressure on
I
them?
could, but here's the thing.
Raises our rates if we talk to our.
Well, it doesn't raise our rates, but there's no reason for me to talk about it. My insurance company shouldn't have to be involved.
Well, that's true, but I tell you what, when I totaled my Buick Regal, I had to. The trooper told me to call my insurance company first.
Well, anytime
My insurance company was rude. Didn't want to. It was like, I don't know why they tell you to do that. So
No, I've dealt with that before. That's the reason why I don't.
So they had me call the person that hit me,
Yep.
and which I did, and everything smoothed on. Went
Well,
smoothly.
and that's I did. I've done it both ways. I've called my insurance company, and my insurance company kind of gets not so nice that they have to call the other insurance company. So I've just usually call if I'm not at fault, I've called the insurance company that is at fault.
Right.
This time it seems to be a very big dragging of the feet. So, and we're going to go into a little bit of that in my next segment. I got a kind of a question related to insurances, but not directly car insurance. And I got a question.
One of the bad part about it is
What's
before
that?
we go to commercial break, it was a one owner's car, and you know how hard it is to find a one
Yeah,
owner's
so we
car.
found him. His car is actually a pretty nice car that we bought him. It was one owner's car.
I've seen it.
Yeah, so I'm a little irritated because if it's total, then I had to go find something else that's just as nice. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that when we come back off the commercial break, and I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, here's a pound of prevention from your Napa Auto Care Center. We'll customize a preventive maintenance package for your vehicle that will save you time, money, and hassles now and down the road. We'll ask, do you drive mainly in the city or on the highway? Plan to keep your vehicle? How long? And more. Preventive maintenance is a good thing that prevents bad things. Build yours at your Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Do you currently have a repair shop you trust? Haven't found the time to go to a garage for all your automotive needs? Check out the all-star team at Napa BDGHRVA.com. That's Napa BDGHRVA.com. Let them show you what it's like to work with the professionals and make a friend along the way. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated. Are you ready for a change? Is this the year you go from just a job to a career? Well, ATI can help. Advanced Technology Institute offers degrees and diplomas in the in-demand fields with hands-on training of automotive technology, heavy vehicle technology, HVAC, commercial refrigeration, maritime welding, and commercial driving. ATI provides accelerated schedules to help students get into their career field fast. So why wait? Day and night classes are available. Job placement assistance from orientation to graduation. Go to auto.edu right now to find out more, or call 757-490-1241. That's 490-1241. What are you waiting for? ATI. Not just helping build the minds of tomorrow, but building your community every day. ATI is certified by SCHEV, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia. Do you currently live in an apartment or condo? Need to work on your car, truck, even motorcycle, but your homeowners association has you down? If your garage is full of broken dreams and the I'll get to it next week projects, American Do-It-Yourself Garage is the place for you. They offer fully equipped, well-lit garage bays with or without a vehicle lift for your needs. Each bay is fully equipped with a workbench, hand tools, air tools, laptop usage, even assistance with parts ordering, which is all included with each bay rental for a reasonable price. If you're looking for a place that feels like home, filled with fantastic staff willing to lend a hand, then give American Do-It-Yourself Garage a call today at 1-844-462-3494. That's 1-844-462-3494. Or go to their webpage and reserve your bay at AmericanDIYG.com. American Do-It-Yourself Garage. Let the friendship begin. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. Hey, so we've been hanging out in the first segment talking about car insurances. Hey, Greg, I hear what you're saying. I was reading your Texas. Yeah, I did check. Their liability, they actually have full coverage on it. It's like a 2014 vehicle. So they do have good coverage insurance. I just think that they're dragging their feet, hoping that it would go away. I don't know how they're dragging their feet because he caved in the whole back of their vehicle. So, I mean, it was able to drive away, but it's not like they're going to be driving like that forever. But I don't know. Some people just priorities, I guess. I can tell you what. You cave in the back of my vehicle, I'm not driving it around like that. It's going to go get fixed. Especially if I got insurance. Whether it's my fault or not, it's going to get fixed. But I don't know.
Says the guy who changes his windshield wiper blades every 3 months.
Hey, hold on. You joke me. You joke. But I just changed them. What did we talk about? Like 2 months ago when I changed them? I got to change them again. I didn't get life out of these ones.
You only got 2 months out of them?
Yeah, only about 2 months out of these ones, and they're already making noise. And it's driving me nuts.
Make a warranty claim.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to stare at him because I already know So talk about priorities. Let's change the windshield wiper blades before we change the brakes on the Nissan. That sounds so smart.
Hold on. First of all, stop. I always think it's funny how they try to gig me. I don't drive that car, number one. Don't drive it. It may be in my fleet of vehicles, but I don't drive it. And as he giggles and laughs, and he drives it more than I do, and then doesn't want to tell anybody that it's time for brakes on it until they make an annoying noise. But he laughs and he giggles. But what he doesn't laugh and giggle about is when I tell him he can't drive it no more. Who's got the final laugh?
It's whoever brings up the problem has to pay for it.
Right, exactly. So we will see who laughs and giggles now. Notice how it's really quiet in the room. Very, very quiet. We're not even talking or anything like that because we can barely put gas in the car, let alone fix the problem. Yeah, as that was the sign of I'm done because I win. So yes, moving on. I win all the time. No, what's the problem is when you have a fleet of vehicles and you let people drive the fleet of vehicles, they don't tell you anything's wrong with them until it's really wrong. Now, I know I can drive a vehicle and it makes the smallest little noise and I go, hey, I think it needs something.
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen if you ignore it.
Right. Not anybody else.
He is the type to turn down the radio if he thinks he hears a noise.
And then I'll drive 50 miles without the radio on.
You'll drive 50 miles, which, one, it's smoothing. I mean, because you can just hear the roads on the tires. But you can also hear every single, and I do it also.
I grew up that way.
Every single noise from the car.
Yeah,
it makes sense, people. I've been telling you guys this for the longest time. Turn off the radio. Be quiet. Stop talking in the car and listen to the sound of your car. It will tell you if it needs something. As you go out on the road, you will start to listen and hear noises and be like, I don't know if my car is supposed to make that noise. And that's an indication of it's time to do something. Laugh if you want about my windshield wipers. I know you all find it funny. Yes, I replace my windshield wipers every 3 months. We've been talking about it for the 3 years we've had this show. But these set of windshield wipers, I think I've got like 2 months out of them, and they're making a noise, and they usually don't make noise at 2 months.
You have to admit, when your car makes a noise and you ignore it, it's going to cost you later.
It's going to get worse. It's
going
to get worse. But what happens is
rise.
We have a lot of vehicles, and I don't drive them all. I just don't. I don't get behind the wheel of all of them. I don't get behind the wheel what he drives or what any of the other of them drive. And by the time I usually do, what happens? He'll tell you what happens. Every time I get behind the wheel of a vehicle that I don't drive often, I go, how long has it been making that noise?
Yeah.
That's what happens to me every single time. And they get irritated with me. They're like, I knew you were going to say that. Okay, well, if you knew I was going to say that, that means you obviously knew it was making that noise.
Get you a clipboard
Why-
and put a discrepancy sheet in there. Let them write it down.
It's becoming to the point that I actually need to put a maintenance log in every one of the vehicles. And I need to just have them start writing down a maintenance log in the vehicle. Because I can't physically drive the cars. I'm not going to either. I'm just not going to take the time to go drive every car.
Yeah.
But people need to start being aware of, hey, it's making a noise, and then let me know so we can get them in and get them fixed. It just works that way.
Yeah, we only have 2 ears apiece.
It's hard to have a large family. It just is. It just is. Somebody out there is feeling my pain. I know, and everybody's like, oh, that's real problems. No, these are real problems. When you're trying to keep everybody going in a different direction in a different vehicle, it's very hard to keep with all them cars. And when you're the car guy in the house, you're responsible for keeping them all on the road. It's real problems.
So Isaac and Harriet, it's not.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Here's something interesting. So this story got sent to me from one of our listeners. Have you ever heard of icing? This is a new term. It's called icing. You ever heard of icing?
Outside of cakes.
I've heard
no.
it in a different place.
No. Icing. How about de-icing? And these two go
De-icing?
de-icing.
That's like
De-icing a windshield.
when you get the the frost off the
No.
windshield.
All right, so there's a thing now. It's a new term called icing. It is where large pickup trucks are purposely parking and blocking the charging stations for electric vehicles.
Why?
Just for fun, I guess. It's called icing.
These aren't electric trucks. These are
No, they're
gasoline
powered trucks,
And
and
they're
they're
blocking
blocking the charging stations to electric vehicles on purpose, I guess, to be funny.
That's immature.
It is, but it's been termed icing, so they're now catching on video. They're doing it and catching on video.
How do they come up with that term for it?
I don't know, putting them on ice, I guess, maybe, I don't know.
Making
It's
them
called
mobile
icing.
because
Yeah.
you can't charge it and go?
Right. So now the Tesla group has come up with a term called de-icing.
Uh-oh.
Well, what big truck owners don't realize is Teslas are actually pretty fast, pretty powerful, if you guys have not figured this thing out.
And they have tow hooks that chains can be hooked up to.
Okay, so, and they also have a tow hook that actually screws in. It's actually pretty powerful. And they have a lot of torque on demand. So
Oh, I already see where
the
this thing's
de-icing
going.
craze has started. There's actually a video where they demonstrated how you could de-ice, where you hook a tow strap
I'm
up
gonna have
to
to
the
look this one
Tesla
up.
and then hook it up to the truck, and they're dragging them out of the way. Even with the truck in park, with the emergency brake on, they hook the Tesla up to it, and the Tesla's strong enough because it's so powerful, it can just drag one of these big trucks right out of the way, and then they pull into the charging station and charge anyway.
Oh, man.
Look,
This is new to me. I
you
hadn't
know, it's
heard
new to
of
me
it.
too. One of the listeners sent me the story, and then I looked it up. And they sent me a video that was attached to it. Now, keep in mind, the video was for test purposes only between people who knew each other.
Yeah.
But it was done to show that, hey, we can start our own craze called de-icing.
But
So-
obviously this is going on.
This is something that's real happening. They are blocking the charging stations on purpose because they think it's cute, and they're videotaping themselves the reaction when people come out and see, they're trying to see that they're blocked. And
So you've got to waste your time to aggravate somebody else.
right, I don't really understand why you would do that, but I mean,
Time is kind
So-
of precious. I don't want to waste it that way.
So Mr. Greg from Facebook says again, how big is this fleet?
I like cars. I'm just going to say I like cars. Just saying I like cars. I'm not confirming or denying, but at any given time, I find myself buying cars and then hanging on to them and then getting rid of cars and buying other cars. I like cars.
He hasn't seen your garage.
Yeah, hasn't seen the garage. Let's just say we can hide a lot of cars in the garage.
We should have a Let's Talk Cars radio meet at the garage.
No. Nice try.
Sounded like a good idea to me.
He doesn't want his lawn tore up.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Oh, you just poked the bear.
Well, you just
Talk
poked the
about
bear.
poke the bear.
All right, so I have a long driveway, and I was smart enough to put a roundabout in my driveway so people could come down, turn around, and go back out. It seems to be the hardest challenge for people to do it. So you know how you have the independent
Contractors,
contractors? Who are they working for?
FedEx, UPS, and I think that's it.
No, what's the other one?
Not
Purelator?
Postmates, Amazon Basics.
Amazon. So one of the independent contractors comes out the other day, comes into the turnabout, and I guess cannot navigate the turnabout. She just backs up right into my lawn. Now, it's been raining. It's new construction. So the front lawn is not secure yet. Anytime you turn soil over, it has to sit for a long period. If y'all didn't know, it has to sit for a long period of time before it becomes solid.
Did she get stuck?
She was until she decided to just rooster tail herself out of it. And now I have these deep ruts in my front yard where she got stuck. Didn't even stop, apologize, anything. So now this has happened a couple times since this has been constructed, and I go out there with my rake and fill the holes in. This one made some deep ruts that will not fill in.
Line the edge of your driveway with
Keep
those
poking
tack
out there.
strips.
All right, so then today, now this gentleman went ahead and, stopped me. The UPS guy trying to go around the roundabout caught the edge of the other side because I have like a center section around, hole in the center that will be decorated with bushes and stuff eventually. Just, it's been raining. It's not time to do it. Yeah. And he dropped both tires into that section and just sunk to the ground in that section. But he came and told me, he's like, I just want to let you know. I'm like, he's like, I can see I'm not the only one. I'm like, no, you're not the only one. Then during the holidays, like 6 or 7 people fell in the hole on one other side. It's just, now I have a big truck and I can go around it about 50 and never get stuck. Never hit it. I can drift through it. I've already tested that theory. I can drift through my own driveway and not hit the edge.
We have a Ring doorbell system. So while he's doing this, we can see it all.
So if I can take my full-body Chevy truck and drift through my driveway and not fall off the edges,
which is funny to watch.
Why can't people just drive through it?
Well, I don't know, but obviously you're buying a lot of stuff and have all these deliveries.
Look, I'm not buying anything. Look, you can't blame me.
Amazon and FedEx don't show up there for nothing.
Let's just say at this point in time, I have to buy, and I have for like the last couple of years, I have to buy the FedEx, UPS man, the DHL man, the mailman. I have to buy them gift cards.
Delivering parts for all that fleet.
Yes, I got to buy them gift cards because I feel obligated. And on that note, it's commercial break time again. I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778. Are you ready for a change? Is this the year that you go from a job to a career? Well, ATI can help. Advanced Technology Institute offers degrees and diplomas in the in-demand field with hands-on training of automotive technology, heavy vehicle technology, HVAC commercial refrigeration, maritime welding, and commercial diving. ATI provides accelerated schedules to help students get into their career field fast. So why wait? Day and night classes are available, job placement assistance from orientation to graduation. Go to auto.edu right now to find out more. Or you can call 757-490-1241. That's 490-1241. What are you waiting for? ATI, not just helping build the minds of tomorrow, but building your community every day. ATI is certified by Chev, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia.
Okay, your week is crazy. Your local Napa Auto Care Center understands. That's why we're open Saturdays for your convenience. Get that oil change you've been putting off way too long. Be done with those squeaky brakes that are on your last nerve. We get it. Our Napa Auto Care Center is open Saturday when you maybe don't have soccer, dance class, a late meeting at work, you name it. Call for a Saturday appointment now.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Are you tired of trying all the wrong auto shops and never leaving feeling that satisfied experience? Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG HRVA group, has the answer for you. Friendly, reliable teams assembled for all your automotive needs. Find your local auto center today at Napa BDGHRVA.com. That's Napa, BDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Wish you could get your car in the air? We've got you covered. Don't have the tools for the job? Not a problem. Dream of having a garage equipped with everything you need to get the job done from start to finish? Well, dreams come true. At American Do-It-Yourself Garage, you'll find our friendly staff just waiting to lend you a hand in a safe and friendly environment. If you're looking for a place where you can do it all, from cars, trucks, and even motorcycles, your do-it-yourself garage awaits. Call 1-844-462-3494 today or reserve your bay at AmericanDIYG.com. American Do-It-Yourself Garage. You can do it. We know you can. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated. .05. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA, Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pilach. Hang out with Rock and Larry Cobb. Cameron's doing all of our technical work for us. If you didn't catch us within the first half hour, don't worry. We got another half hour to go for you. So here we go.
Look, we're managing the phone lines, too. Call in, 757-222-3705.
I noticed one thing. People love to text. Text and email seems to be the big thing. People call in here and there, but I get more text and more email than I get anything else.
How about folks that carry on a regular conversation texting? That's where I draw the line.
Oh, I'm good. I do it all the time. My biggest thing about it is a lot of people text me, and then I have to go back and answer the questions after the show because it's hard to talk and text,
sure.
and then Cameron does a lot of that for us. But so here's one for you guys. Now, we were talking about this. We've been talking about this for years. But you know what? Before I get into that, there's a couple of different things. I got two different stories going on. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to talk about first because both are very entertaining. Cars with cameras. I'm going to jump into that real quick. So hold on. So we've been talking about cars with cameras for a while. And I told you some of the technology that was coming. And a lot of people thought I was crazy. And I kept on telling you, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. So announced this week, there is now the introduction of cameras inside the car that will be facing you and looking at you inside the car. So the conversation went back and forth this week is that an invasion of privacy?
What fun is that? Looking at yourself.
Hold on. It's not. The car is scanning and it's reading you. But now with connectivity and cars being connected to everything, will that be an invasion of privacy is the question, because will that information be used? And here's how that works. So the car is reading facial expressions. It can also it will have the technology of reading your pulse rating. It can tell if you're sleepy, if you're drowsy. It says if you're feeling sick, if it needs to call emergency services for you. Now, you know where this is going. So that means the car is going to be able to determine whether you're impaired behind the wheel. I'm not saying that's what they're going to use it for, but I'm going to tell you, if it has that technology, now does the car tell on you? So, not to say that's a bad idea, but is that an invasion of privacy?
I totally agree with this. But I believe there should be certain circumstances, I think I said that word right, to it.
You paraphrase that right.
I think it should be connected to a black box inside the vehicle that you remember how I said about insurance, you should prove yourself, and if you do something, wrong?
No,
it's not wrong.
It is wrong
Look,
because here's the thing: you're not going to have a choice. At some point in time, this technology is going to be in cars. So you're going to buy the car. It's just going to be there.
I really believe it should come equipped with it, but it only should be accessed if it needs to be accessed. It shouldn't be connected to a Wi-Fi where it can be accessed.
You're not going to have a choice. At some point in time, the car is just going to come with this. That's just the way it's going to be. Here's the thing. So we talked about the technology that you have sensors in the steering wheel. They want to do that. Where anytime you grab a hold of the steering wheel, it's monitoring all your vital signs while you're holding the steering wheel. And I asked, okay, so what are you going to do with that information? And everybody's like, well, I don't know. Well, we already know what they're going to do with that. You're going to relay that information to somebody. At some point in time, that information is going somewhere. It's not just going to stay inside the car, because with cars being connected to everything, when I mean being connected to everything, and we talked about this before, the car is going to talk to other cars, it's going to talk to buildings, it's going to talk to computers. Those computers are going to be connected to networks. Networks connected to what? To government agencies. So at the end of the day, everything's talking to everything. So that information is going to go somewhere.
But with a self-driving car, doesn't that become a moot point? So which is going to get here first?
It does. Well, the technology of what we're talking is going to come here first before everyday technology the car driving itself does. We already know that. For the fact that I believe it's Volvo is implementing most of these technologies at the end of this year into the car. So they'll be one of the first to have some of this technology in the car. So the mute point is Volvo will have this in the car before the end of the year. We'll see the first for-sale auto driving car probably on the market by the end of this year too. So
if this technology comes out, it will change cars.
Completely.
Because then not only does it record everything, now they can equip Face ID in it, like our phones have.
Oh, absolutely.
It will scan your face. You'll never need a key to start the car anymore. It will always scan it. It will detect who you are, automatically program your seat, move it up for you to the gas pedals. Do you know how much that would change technology in the cars?
So this has a lot to do with technology, but it has a lot not to do with technology. Let me just take you a step further. You're not going to like this either, because I don't do politics. You know, I don't believe in politics.
I know you don't.
And cars mixed together, but the more and more this show goes on, the longer we're around, the more I don't have a choice but to let those two clash. Here's the thing. I told you when we start talking about facial recognition and cars being connected,
the name's connected. It's going to send it to the
That's
government.
right. If I'm looking for you, now I know where to find you.
Yep.
The minute you have to start a car with your face, if you're a wanted fugitive, I know exactly where you are now.
Okay, you're totally right.
That's a reason for not being a fugitive.
Right. But here's the thing. When they started doing that with phones, I had said the same thing.
I called that one immediately, and then they were.
Cameron and I had a long conversation. I said, the minute you have to unlock your phone with a face and I'm looking for you, now I know where you are.
Because now think about this. When you go into a police station, they scan your face, right?
Yep.
It automatically puts in every single thing.
All your details, like a fingerprint.
If your phone uses that, and your phone uses your fingerprint,
which is connected to a network,
all they have to do is hit a button right when you scan your phone or you scan your fingerprint, and people really don't think about it.
They know where you are.
It's automatically updating it. Your name's connected. And now what you don't know is they can access your camera to make sure that it's you.
Well, here's the thing. Right. So the technology, that's part of the hack system. And the only reason why Cameron knows that is because Cameron's into white hacks. That's an interest of his. So you can access your camera on your phone if you really want to. I can turn your camera on and watch to see what you're doing and where you're at on your phone. If I really care to do so at any point in time, as long as you got your phone on you, I can access your camera and see what you're up to.
Larry, do you have Bluetooth in your car?
No, his car does not have Bluetooth. No. But if you do have Bluetooth technology, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, you already know where I'm going with that.
I can access through your Bluetooth and pretty much just watch everything you're doing.
So you could access me through my Garmin when I'm running that. That has Bluetooth. I have it hooked up to the phone.
Yes, essentially.
Well, since it's hooked up to your phone, I can act as that device with the same MAC address and access it like that.
But you got to know the MAC address.
Easy.
That's child's play.
They're not unique identifiers.
It's not like what you think. For people who are into that kind of stuff, that's child's play. It really is. I hate to scare you guys, but connectivity in cars and stuff like that, there's a reason why, and I've been telling you guys this for 3 years. There is a reason why all the automated systems in cars and stuff like that, the auto manufacturers are offering people who are into hacking large bonuses and large money to hack these systems. They want the systems hacked so they know how to protect themselves against it. You know, they're offering $100,000 to hackers to try to hack systems on the cars just to see if it can be done. So if it can be done, they know how to protect themselves.
Can you turn this system off?
Or is
No.
it no?
No.
No, connectivity
Because
and stuff on cars is not going to be able to
once
be turned
they already put this technology inside your car, it has power. So even if you think you're turning it off, it has power. So something's running, and it's always going to run. So somehow, some person can turn it back on without you knowing.
There's a lot that goes in this. What people don't realize is once these cars are all connected and everything's talking to each other, it just gets a little bit scarier. And it's just another way for people to watch and see what you're up to. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's just one of those things. I tell you what, guys, the more and more we talk about it, the longer there is to discuss, and time flies by. And speaking of time flying by, it's time for another commercial break. When we come back, I have a story for you guys are going to like, and it has to do with things we talk about all the time. Why having a trusted garage and making sure you use them regularly is very important. When we come back, we'll get into it. I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Are you tired of your everyday job? Looking for something more? You have to go check out ATI at auto.edu. Advanced Technology Institute has a program for you. From accelerated schedules to assistance in helping students get into the career field fast. Guys, I understand how hard it is with the hassle of juggling life, work, kids. That's why ATI provides day and night classes to make things as easy for you to succeed. If you're ready for a change, give them a call today at 757-490-1241. That's 757-490-1241. Make ATI your choice for building today's minds and tomorrow's communities. ATI is certified by SCHEV, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia. Talk to you soon.
Do you currently live in an apartment or condo? Need to work on your car, truck, even motorcycle, but your homeowners association has you down? If your garage is full of broken dreams and the I'll get to it next week projects, American Do-It-Yourself Garage is the place for you. They offer fully equipped, well-lit garage bays with or without a vehicle lift for your needs. Each bay is fully equipped with a workbench, hand tools, air tools, laptop usage, even assistance with parts ordering, which is all included with each bay rental for a reasonable price. If you're looking for a place that feels like home, filled with fantastic staff willing to lend a hand, then give American Do-It-Yourself Garage a call today at 1-844-462-3494. That's 1-844-462-3494. Or go to their webpage and reserve your bay at AmericanDIYG.com. American Do-It-Yourself Garage. Let the friendship begin.
Take vitamins, exercise, ease up on the coffee. Sound familiar from your last visit to the doctor? Well, your Napa Auto Care Center knows preventive maintenance too. By grouping together services your vehicle needs, customized for the way you drive, they can save you time, money, and hassles. Prevent troubles down the road and give you confidence when you travel. Ask your Napa Auto Care Center to build a preventive maintenance plan for your vehicle today.
Hey guys, check everything your Napa Auto Care Center has to offer at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Their commitment to excellence will leave you coming back for more. So check them out at NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
.05. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA, Freedom 1110. So I told you I had a story, and I was waiting to get it in there, so we're going to talk about it in this segment, and here we go. So you guys know that I tell you all the time how important it is to get your car in for regular maintenance, how important it is to find a garage that you like, learn about them, like them, and build that relationship. And I talk about that all the time. That's how we ended up hooking up with our Napa sponsor, and the fact that, you know, the family garage situation, dealing with people that you know are going to be there regularly. That way you're dealing with the same people over and over again. They build a history with your vehicle. They build a history with you. You know them. They know you. And you guys build that marriage together, so they have a working, you know, relationship with you and the car. So I had a story come my way this week that I thought was kind of interesting. I'm going to kind of run you guys through it. And I'm kind of curious what you guys think and as far as how this played out. So here's the story. And there was a couple who during the holidays decided they were going to take a road trip for the holidays, like most of us do. And they decided to drive from Ohio to South Carolina. And they have a 2011 Subaru Forester. And so on their way down, they realized, on their way down from the trip to go down, they realized that they needed an oil change. Now, you guys know what I said, and I'm not going to chastise them for it because, you know, this happens all the time. People just get in a hurry and stuff. You're trying to get going in the holidays and stuff. You know, I always tell you, make sure you get an oil change before you leave for the trip. I always say make sure you get an oil change after you come back for a trip. Now, that's what I do. I'm not saying that's what everybody else should do, but you know, I'm a little different when it comes to my car, and we've all talked about this.
And your cars last, don't they?
They do. My cars do last a very long time. And I know that might seem excessive to people, but I've done this forever. If I go on a road trip, I change the oil before I go on a road trip, and I change the oil when I come back from a road trip. Even if I only put like 800 or 900 miles on it, I've always done that. I just change the oil before and after, just because the car has been on the road for such a long time at a prolonged temperature for so long, burning that oil. I just feel comfortable knowing that the car has fresh oil back in it after I've driven it for long hours.
It makes sense.
So I've done that. You can do as you please, but I've done this for a long time. Now keep in mind, I get 270,000 miles out of my car, so there may be something to it. Just like my windshield wipers too. I can get long.
That's that's what do they call obsessive?
It is. My windshield wipers are an obsessive thing. I've done it forever. I change my windshield wipers every.
And there's nothing wrong. It doesn't hurt anything, no. and you're okay with doing it. So I mean, I get it.
My windshield wipers are usually very quiet. But anyway, so going into the story, so what they did was they drove the car and they realized that it was going to need an oil change on their trip down. So they made the telephone call back to the dealership in Ohio to see if they could get in for an oil change, you know, when they got back and get squared away. Of course, there was a waiting line. So they decided while they were in town, one of their relatives suggested one of their repair shops in town to get the oil change while they were there. So they just took it in. He was able to get them in and get an oil change. They got the oil change. Everything seemed to be great. Now, keep in mind, this was a suggested place to them from a family member, but they have never used that place. So they don't have a connection. They don't know anything. They're going off of word of mouth from somebody else. So oil change gets done. Everything seems great. They enjoy their holidays. They get back on the road and head back towards Ohio. So they get on the road and they're going down the road and they get almost back home and they hear a pop noise and then they start smelling it burning and they pull off to the side of the road.
And a piston flies through the hood?
No, but it might as well probably. The motor blew. The place that did the oil change, this is how a simple oil change can go wrong, guys. I've told you this. You know, it's funny because it seems like the guy that has what seems to be the smallest responsibility in a shop holds some of the highest responsibility. An oil change that seems so simple could be one of the biggest repairs if not done right. And in this case, they did not get the oil fill cap back on. Maybe on tight or maybe not on at all. We're not really sure, I guess, at this point. But oil came out, spilled out to the point where it blew the motor. So the car is now at the dealership. It's going to need the motor either replaced or rebuilt. And this is where the insurance comes in of who's going to pay. And so now they're stuck in that dilemma. Here they had a perfectly good vehicle with about 76,000 miles on the car. Car was good. Don't have a whole lot of money left to pay off on the car. The car's really close to being paid off, but they're stuck to make that dilemma all over a simple maintenance item on the car. And it comes into question. What do? Do you let them go ahead and put a new motor in the car? Do you keep the car? Okay. Do you let them fix the car and you trade the car in on a new car? Now you're assuming a whole nother car payment.
Yeah.
You know, for another, nowadays, 5 years.
Yeah. Or longer.
Or longer. Or if you do the 3 year and you have the really large car payment, it just depends on exactly which one you want to do. So you get stuck in that situation where you have all these decisions that you weren't, planning to play. Now, if you own a Subaru and you're a Subaru fan, well, there's a lot of people out there, a Subaru will run for a long time as long as you keep up with the maintenance. Now, keep in mind, Subarus are maintenance hogs. They do like to be maintenance regularly and on time. But if you do it, they will run for a long time. I've seen a lot of Subarus get 200 plus 1,000 miles on them and run like a clock as long as you keep up with the maintenance on them. So, I feel bad because, I got the story and I went through the story and I gave my advice of what I believe. Here's the advice I would give in that situation. There's a couple of different routes you could go. You can have them drop a motor in that car, and as long as everything seems to go okay, you probably will drive that car for another 5 years or better, hopefully with no problems. The car is almost paid off, so you basically would run that car for a while. What I would do is I would pay that car off and I would drive that car until it dropped dead. Mm-hmm. But I would take about $200, $250 a month and drop it in a savings account as if I was making a car payment for the next 5 years. So when the car does drop dead, I have enough money saved in a savings account to basically go out and buy another car in cash. That's what I would do.
Yep.
Because that's just the smart, responsible thing to do.
I've done that.
Yeah, I've done it. You put money in the savings account as if you're still making a car payment. So when it comes time to buy another car,
you got the cash.
You have the cash to do it. And you're not held under the gun to have another car payment. You basically can buy what you want.
And then you
and own
repeat
it.
After you pay
and you
cash
keep
for
on
the
repeating.
car, you
that
still
is
keep
the
putting
smartest
money
way to do
aside.
it. And you keep on repeating. If you can get yourself in that cycle, smartest way to do it. So that's my first round of advice.
Never pay interest.
That's right. So if you don't want to do that, well, then I can understand. If you're worried that the car may have problems due to the fact that it got hot and popped the motor, well, then you need to determine how long do you plan on keeping cars. If you're one of those people that only keep a car 3 to 5 years, then you might want to look into a lease program because you really don't ever own anything at that point in time, and it's not worth you to keep the car and own a car on such a high car payment because you're not keeping cars long enough anyway. They don't mean anything to you. They're just a mean of transportation. For somebody who has a car that's just a means of transportation, lease is usually a really good program to look at because you really don't care. Cars aren't your thing. You have no vested interest in the vehicle other for it to take you from point A to point B. You're already comfortable with paying a car payment for the rest of your life. It might as well be a low car payment, so lease is the option in that case. So that would be my other thing. One of the things I want to stress to you, if you ever find yourself in this situation like this couple did, make sure you don't pay a dime, not 1 red cent. You did nothing wrong other than take your car in to be repaired, and then you got put in a situation. So make sure they're not asking you to pay anything. The last question I have on it is to you guys, I'm going to ask, is their time worth anything? Besides the repair, they were inconvenienced during the New Year's Eve holiday, and they had to change their plans. So now that they were inconvenienced, do you think they should be compensated for their time?
I do, but I don't know how they're going to get it without a suit.
What do you think their time's worth?
I can't answer that.
Per day. If it was you, what would you think your time's worth per day?
If it was me, it would be $300 a day.
That's exactly the figure I had in my head. It's funny you say that. $300 a day plus my food and my lodging is what I think my time is worth. So I want $300 a day for my time plus my food and my lodging. Now, I know there's going to be auto garages out there that probably are going to disagree with me, but if you have good insurance, I think your insurance company should pick that up, because I've been inconvenienced and I've had to sit somewhere, not my negligence. I didn't do anything. I've now had to sit around, and my plans have been, my holiday vacation or whatever has been ruined.
That's the only way you can be made whole.
Correct. And insurance one thing is to make you whole.
Exactly.
So that's my advice on it. I mean, I'm just telling you guys, keep in mind, find an auto garage. Find one that you like, use them regularly, and always make sure that you have your car completely maintenance and up to maintenance all the time. Try to avoid situations like that. This is one of those unfortunate situations, not anything that they did wrong by any means. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. They noticed the car is supposed to be serviced. They try to get it serviced quick before they put it back out on the road. Unfortunately, a garage they didn't know anything about did the work under advisement of somebody else, and they just got stuck in a bad situation. But if you keep everything the way you're supposed to, stick with garages that you know, sometimes you can avoid this. Not always. Bad things happen to good people. And on that note, that's the end of our show. It is Saturday out there. Sun's shining for us. Hopefully it's shining where you guys are at. Enjoy your Saturday. Sunday's right around the corner. Make sure you turn off your TV. Spend some time with your kids. They'll love you for it. And we'll talk to you soon. We're out of here.